The Houston Texans had a terrible, terrible timeout against the New England Patriots, losing 28-16 in their divisional game. This game was, I couldn't decide whether I was entertained or I was like, what are we watching? Like, this is so bad. But I couldn't decide whether I was like enjoying it or like, come on, we need like better play and better football than this. I just couldn't decide. But I think if the turnovers were the big thing of the day, especially by the Houston Texans. Not that the Patriots weren't innocent within all that either, but I think the focus I really do want to have a little bit look on is CJ Stroud. He ended the game 20-47, 212 yards, a touchdown to 4 interceptions, 3 sacks, and now with really how the quarterback contracts and the whole sphere of quarterbacks now, I suppose, within the NFL, I think it is going to be a bit of a thing with the Texans where they're going to have to think about the future with CJ Stroud and about whether this guy is going to be the guy, because we've looked around the league now at this point, and a lot of these teams have made that mistake, and they've invested money in maybe the wrong quarterback or maybe a quarterback that was hot at the time and has then cooled off. And Adam, I mean, CJ Stroud coming from Ohio State, we knew he was going to be that top 1-2 pick when he came out, but he was incredible that first season, rookie of the year, and now it's felt like regression.
Yeah, it's definitely fallen away, hasn't it? And it's really difficult to. I think it's going to be very, very difficult for him to get over what's happened in these last 2 games. I think I understand the way that the organisation has gone and the way that D'Amico Ryans has gone, where it's very much, oh no, he's our guy, and we were all sort of talking like, surely he gets pulled here. Like at halftime, it was such a disaster. But the thing is like if you pull him at halftime, then he's done, kind of thing. It's like because you're basically admitting he can't cope with it. So I can understand why they stuck throughout and why they stuck with him and why they're saying what they're saying. But it's a scary time for them to go in with a big contract now with him, because he's, like you say, had a really good rookie season and has just really fallen away consistently ever since. And it's just really difficult to see where he suddenly gets it back and what kind of. I think maybe I don't know. This is, he had a new OC this year. You could argue that maybe that hasn't helped the situation and that you need to not necessarily go back to who he had in his rookie year, but maybe just a different OC might help. But the Texans are in a bit of a. It's not just CJ Stroud. The problem is that they're at this point now where Will Anderson has also done 3 years, and it's like you have to pay him. Like he is the one that you have to pay, and that kind of then means, can you pay Stroud as well? Now I know you can do it, but I don't know. It's a little bit worrying considering
Can and should are very.
Yeah, the trajectory that he's on. It's a concerning thing to suddenly put down an absolute insane amount of money on him.
Do you think it's a little unfair, Andrew, the amount of criticism and flack that he got within this game? Because I would argue that some of the interceptions and some of the poor play that he had wasn't necessarily his fault. His O-line wasn't completely fit. He's not been fit throughout the whole season. He didn't have Nico Collins. Dalton Schultz goes out. He's only really got 2 rookie wide receivers to play with, as well as Xavier Hutchinson. I don't even remember the tight end who he's had as well. Woody Marks isn't their number 1 running back. It's Joe Mixon. He's been gone all year. Can it be all to blame on him, this loss?
No, I don't think so. Justin Herbert threw 4 interceptions last year in the game, and no one's going, "Oh, just get rid of him." I know it's a different circumstance and the traits and things like that, but before the season started, we all said we're unsure what they're doing because they were getting rid of Laramie Tunsil when we were saying they need to strengthen the O-line. predominantly CJ Stroud is a pocket passer, but it's got a little bit of mobility. He's not like a dual threat. He's predominantly when he's in the pocket, and he throws one of the nicest balls out of anyone in the NFL. He can deliver a really, really good pass, but he needs that time and he needs to be able to play as a pocket passer. And before the season started, we said they hadn't given him the tools to do that. So why, when they've got all this far, are we going, oh, well, he's not good enough? Because we said that, I think halfway through the season, we said, I think they've given up on this year and they're looking at the future. Yet they just went on a really good run, and then we're going, oh, well, it's his fault now. I don't think it's his fault. Like you say, all rookie wide receivers, lost his tight end, lost his running back, lost his, he lost his best mate in Tank Dell for the season. Nico Collins is gone. Dalton Schultz is gone. Joe Mixon's gone. Larry Tunsil out. It's all offensive side of the ball that they're missing pieces. So I don't think you can put all the blame on him. I do think you can say that leads to the key why there's been regression as well, because they've put a lot of effort and a lot of time into that defense, and you can tell. But have they really done that on the offensive side of the ball yet? Maybe not. I know they've got Nico Collins, but they haven't really put all their eggs in the basket of offense yet. So maybe you can say they haven't done enough there for him. Equally, though, Fred, that for me doesn't mean you have to go out. I have a big thing with quarterbacks and contracts. Me and Adam fall out all the time when we talk about this. And CJ Stroud's my guy. I love him, think he's amazing. But I'm very much on the side of he hasn't done enough yet for me. I can say, yes, these are the reasons, but he hasn't done enough for me to say, let's go out and break the bank on him, because lots of teams make that problem. He's got years left on that contract. They can pick up the 5th year. Why not do it? Why not go, yeah, okay, we'll sign Will Anderson. We know he's the next sort of great edge. We know that. He could go on to be the big thing after TJ Watt and Myles Garrett are gone. It's him, isn't it? He's going to be the guy. So why not just hold off on Stroud? Give him another year on his rookie deal and pick up the 5th year, and then see where you're at, and then move off of him if you need to. Then no one says you have to break the bank and give him all the money. I said this about Tua. I've said it about Purdy. I've said it about some other guys as well over the years, and everyone's going, no, you've got to sign him. You've got to sign him. You don't need to. You've got time. You've got years on the contract. That's what it's there for. So I don't blame him. I do think he can bounce back. You don't need to break the bank yet.
My one caveat is, I know he didn't have all of his offensive weapons around him, but you have to admit, he looked just rattled, didn't he? Like, he looked like he didn't know he couldn't play. It did, and that's not just about your offensive talent around you. He was just not making throws anymore. He just stopped. It was like, it was just like he never had played quarterback ever. And that's got to be a bit of a mental, can he get over? Because he has playoff wins. He has playoff wins and he has playoff losses. He's been here before. I don't know why this one has been so different, where it felt like he just completely shut down. I suppose this is a both of you thing, and then we can talk about.
It wasn't just this game, though, was it? It was the Steelers game as well.
He was not great in the Steelers game. No, he wasn't.
The defense won that game.
A lot of people are saying it's. Adam will probably talk about this on a different show. The quarterback play, when we were talking about quarterback plays, there's a lot of nothing, and then there's a lot of great throws. And I think that's the way it's kind of going. And he delivered some really big plays in that Steelers game, but he delivered a lot of rubbish as well. So it's one of them where, which way you're weighing it, those big plays meant a lot for them to get the victory, and he got them. But overall, he didn't have a very massive, consistent game. So, yeah, I mean, he only threw 8 interceptions throughout the year, didn't he, prior to the playoffs? So it's not as if interceptions are...
Yeah, but he tried to double it in the 2 games.
It's that's not been the issue. I know his rookie year, we went for... Didn't he break a record for the longest consecutive games without an interception?
Is that not more of a concern, though?
While we're on
you come out and you say about the O-line and Laramie Tunsil going, but he hasn't thrown the interceptions then throughout the whole season. And then he comes out and he ends up in a big game. And
while we're on that, the first year he goes 4,000 yards, 23 touchdowns, 5 picks. Next year he goes 3,727, 20 touchdowns, 12 picks. This year, so that was 15 games, 17 games, 14 games this year. He goes 3,000 yards, 19 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, not including these playoff ones.
Yeah, I've made my point, didn't I? And I think they need to give him a chance and build on the offense a bit more and give him a chance.
Would you pay him, Adam?
No.
Do you think
so? I like to play devil's advocate a lot here with Andrew on this one because I know it winds him up a bit. But no, I actually think they've got the ready-made excuse already. Their cap space is not fantastic. They need to pay Will Anderson. That is their excuse. And they should come out and go, look, we have to pay this guy. He's amazing. And, we'll look at you next year. That's exactly how they should play it. Teams don't do that. They freak out and they get scared and they want to make sure that their quarterback is signed up for a really long time. And that's the reason why these guys get paid so much money quicker than what they should do.
Because I completely agree with both of you of like, don't panic.
Well, that's not fun, is it?
But you don't have to panic. I don't think you do, but I don't think we run NFL teams. And I think we've seen so many NFL teams not very often poorly ran. And let's be frank, the Houston Texans are not a well-ran franchise.
I think they're a little bit better now.
Oh, I don't know.
Compared to what they were a few years ago, they were dreadful. But I feel like now they've sort of got things a little bit more on point.
Maybe. I still don't think they've done that well in certain areas. But teams do play because ultimately, you've got their biggest worry is they let him go and then they're sat there not in the playoffs and he's in an AFC or an NFC championship game or even
it's the Sam Darnold thing, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And actually now we're seeing it more. We're sort of seeing it more that where actually shit, we should be a bit more patient. But maybe on the flip side, you're also going, we can actually happily move on because there's always guys. They're definitely there's more guys. Look at Baker, look at Sam. Like
I think if there's ever a point to be made about moving on from quarterbacks, Seattle moved on from Russell Wilson and it was a big contract, and look where they are now. And Denver moved on from Russell Wilson and look where they are now. And they were big cap hits as well. Denver is still paying for Russell Wilson, aren't they? That you can move off of anyone at any time, and you can turn a team round in a year, 18 months, I reckon.
Well, you might as well pay him big now then.
Well, no, not when you've got years on the contract. There's plenty of years on it. Pick the 5th year up. Just
definitely pick the 5th year up.
But the problem is,
you're both right with the Will Anderson thing. He is first in line.
At the minute, the problem for me is if I was a GM, the level of play I'm getting from Stroud, I'm saying you're around, I know he's playing better, but your contract's around the Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield price. You know, you're 100,000, but his agent and his age, you're going to go, I'm to a Trevor Lawrence, Jordan Love price. And he's not playing at that level, is it? Well,
neither was Tua.
No, I'm talking price-wise. I didn't want to sign Tua, did I, when we were talking about I said
you don't want to sign anyone. That's your problem.
Well, yeah. But am I wrong, though? Should I just I'll just draft a quarterback every year, and then when I'm ready, I can just move on. Or every other year. I'll just sign a quarterback, draft a quarterback every other year, and then I can always move on if I need to.
We could really poke the bear here, Adam.
Go for it.
Will there ever be a really good Ohio quarterback?
Oh, of course not. It's the bloody Ohio State every sodding time, isn't it? You single-handedly let Sky have a win. Bloody Ohio State, I tell you.
All hopes on Julian Sayin then.
Yeah, great.
Number 1 draft pick in next year's draft.
It is strange, but I feel like it's actually getting more and more. I think it's becoming more and more common now where we're not we're a bit wait and see. I mean, I could probably name you 10 quarterbacks in the league where you could go, well, we should maybe wait and see a little bit, could get paid, maybe won't get paid, maybe shouldn't get paid. And then the disparity of that compared to the guys who are at a really, really top end, I suppose. But then the guys who are getting paid at the really top end, there's people that Joe Burrow could get moved. I know Baltimore picked Lamar, but it felt a little bit like it was John or Lamar a little bit in that same sense. And it's just, I don't know, maybe we're just going to get a bit more of a fluid quarterback situation throughout the league now because of the movement and also quarterbacks being so much more ready coming out of college now. Maybe I know they're not this year. I know this year's a bad quarterback draft. I know that, but in general, they are, aren't they?
Well, I would say no.
Okay.
Because I think the quarterback play's been pretty poor this year.
Interesting.
Well, we've had this conversation off the air. I think new era quarterback play is just different, Adam. It's just different. You're just
it's poorer.
But
it is poor. It is. I mean, CJ Stroud had 47 attempts and only completed 20. Darnold only threw the ball 12 times in his game.
He required to throw it 12 times.
It's difficult, I think, for you to come out and say that the quarterbacks that are in the league now are better than what they were like 10 years ago.
But they are 10 times better.
There's no depth.
They're 100 times better athletes, and that's the way it's going.
But they're making bad throws because of it. They are having more interceptions because of it.
This is like saying if George Best and Pele played in the Premier League now, would they be the greatest players in the world? You can't say that because it's the game has changed so much.
No, but I can come out and say that I believe the likes of Rodgers and Roethlisberger and Breeze and Rivers, and I'm not even including Brady, but we'll throw him in there if you like as well, were better than what we've got at the moment.
I think you've just gone completely pure pocket passer there, and I don't think the pure pocket
because that's all there was. Because that was pretty much all there was at the time.
But if you
that doesn't work in this league anymore,
Adam, you know this yourself.
But all I'm not saying about whether it works in the league. I am saying the quality of the quarterback
is different. Let's talk about quality.
Is worse now than what it was.
Quality-wise, is an absolute athletic beast, and can whip the ball out real quick. That is better quality than you got from Peyton Manning.
Yeah, but he then throws 3 interceptions and
headline Andrew says Caleb Williams is better than Peyton Manning.
Well, I just said he's more athletic and a better arm. It's different attributes.
But it doesn't work as often.
It does.
It creates more. It creates more like interceptions.
It also creates more opportunity for bigger plays.
And creates more drama.
If you can create 5 explosive plays and have 2 interceptions, I think people are going like, "Yep, that's what I want." People don't just want like, "Yep, I completed a 5-yard pass at 80% completion rate and I moved down the ball and kicked a field goal." People don't want that.
Let's face it, Brady in that twilight years towards the end of the Patriots, when they were winning everything, it was boring. Like it was. Like it wasn't fun to watch.
That's not my point.
No, but
I get what you're saying. I understand that it creates a more entertaining product.
But is the quality there where he can just dink and dunk, but they're really accurate compared to someone who effectively.
I can understand that this is a more entertaining product to watch. I'm not saying that it's not. What I'm saying is that the quality of quarterbacks that you are getting is not the same as what it was. It's gone down. And the amount of interceptions that you are getting in games is proof of that. And the fact that, I mean, at one point during the Patriots game, they were saying that it was the average interceptions in the games was 3.4, and it was the highest since 2016. Like, I mean, that's not a good thing. That just goes to I mean, yeah, okay, you're getting a more entertaining product, which is great, but I'm just watching more quarterbacks throw the ball to the defender.
I would easily caveat on this, but I'm going to not do. I'm gonna move
It's
us
for
on
another day, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
for
You know
another
you can't,
day.
are
Yeah,
you? You
because
know
I've
you
got a
can't.
very, very good caveat for it, but I'm gonna just keep that in my quiver for the time being.